Imagine waking up one morning and realizing you can't lift your beloved granddaughter into your arms without feeling a sharp twinge shoot through your lower back. For years, you've prided yourself on staying active and strong well into your late 60s. But now, at 72, something has changed. You notice your muscles don't recover the way they once did, and your joints ache in a way that makes everyday tasks feel daunting. You try to push through, convincing yourself it's just part of getting older. But deep down, a nagging fear grows. What if the next time I lift something heavy, I do real damage? The stakes are high because ignoring these signals could mean the difference between maintaining your independence and struggling with chronic pain or limited mobility. You're not alone. Many older adults have been taught that heavy lifting is the key to staying strong, no matter the age. But new perspectives from specialists in senior wellness are finally shedding light on a more nuanced truth. After 70, your body's capacity for intense strain changes dramatically. There's a window here, a chance to learn better strategies that keep you active and self-reliant without overtaxing your bones and joints. By understanding the potential risks of heavy lifting and discovering safer, highly effective alternatives, you can remain vibrant and capable for years to come. In this video, you'll discover 5 essential insights that challenge old beliefs about maintaining strength in your 70s and beyond. We'll look at everything from hidden forms of damage that might already be affecting your muscles to how you can swap out a single risky movement for a gentler technique that yields even better results. Keep watching until the end, because our final point reveals a simple daily routine that most seniors have never heard of. And it could help you avoid the pain and setbacks so many others endure. Imagine being able to play with your grandchildren, carry a light bag of groceries, or bend down to pick something off the floor without that wave of dread. This is the transformation we'll explore together. What I'm about to share comes from the latest thinking in geriatric exercise science, supported by insights from professionals who focus exclusively on seniors' health. It's a blend of practical wisdom and emerging understandings about how the older body responds to strain. Before we dive into the details, I invite you to stay connected to this channel. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications. That way you won't miss any future videos that may help you protect your health and improve your quality of life. And if you find this video helpful, type 1 in the comments. If you disagree or want a different approach, type 0 so I can tailor future videos to your needs. Now let's begin by examining the first crucial insight, which might surprise you with how it challenges nearly everything you've heard about senior strength building. The first important realization is that the more you push past your threshold with heavy lifting after 70, the more you risk creating tiny accumulating injuries that can sneak up on you. Most people believe that no pain, no gain is a universal rule. They figure if something hurts, they just have to grit their teeth, push harder, and the strength will come. It's a belief many seniors hold, especially those who are active in their younger years. I've been lifting weights since my 30s, you might say. Why should I stop now? But consider the story of Harold, age 75. Harold spent most of his life as a construction worker, easily hoisting bags of cement and heavy tools. Even in retirement, he prided himself on carrying heavy boxes for his neighbors. Then he woke up one morning, unable to stand upright, without searing pain in his lower back. It turned out he'd been steadily chipping away at his spine's natural cushioning. Those seemingly harmless lifting sessions had compounded over time, resulting in a slow-building injury that abruptly reached its tipping point. Specialists found that his spine was under enormous stress, causing nerve pain and requiring months of focused physical therapy. Here's the counterintuitive truth. Pushing through that extra level of strain can do more harm than good, because the older body's repair mechanisms aren't as robust as they once were. It's like driving on a road riddled with tiny cracks. You might not notice them at first, but with each trip, the cracks get bigger until one day you hit a pothole that blows out your tire. In the same way, heavy lifting after 70 can create micro tears in your muscles and connective tissues that no longer heal as quickly. Over time, these injuries add up to a major blow to your mobility. So how do you safeguard yourself from this hidden damage? The best immediate step is to listen to your body's early warning signals. If you feel persistent tension or a twinge, don't ignore it. Instead of, say, hoisting a 30-pound box, try splitting the load into two 15-pound trips or use a rolling cart. Small choices like this can drastically cut down the stress on your joints. If you're used to a certain weight on dumbbells, go a few pounds lighter and increase your repetitions instead. This shift from pure weight to controlled repetition can help you maintain muscle tone without overtaxing your skeletal framework. The emotional benefit is immense. You'll have peace of mind knowing you're protecting your body's future. No more waking up anxious about whether that lingering ache will turn into something debilitating. Embrace the idea that less is more when it comes to resistance in your 70s. By gradually modifying how you challenge your muscles, you reduce the threat of hidden injuries. You gain the freedom to stay active, play with your grandchildren, and participate in the hobbies you love without constant worry. And that psychological relief is just as valuable as the physical benefits. If you feel you're getting value from this discussion, let me know in the comments. Share a simple, "I'm still watching," so I know you're keeping up and ready to move on to the next crucial point. The second big insight revolves around the misconception that heavy lifting builds bone density in seniors just as effectively as it does for younger adults. We often hear how weight-bearing exercises are vital for maintaining strong bones. Seniors read articles or watch programs that claim heavy weights are the ultimate way to stave off osteoporosis. But consider Joyce, 77, who was determined to keep her bones strong. She enrolled in a fitness program that emphasized lifting heavier barbells. After 3 months, she started to notice an increasing ache in her knees. Her instructor said, "Push through," reminding her that bone density only builds when you challenge your limits. Yet after an awkward lunge, Joyce felt a pop in her knee that left her hobbling for weeks. Research into geriatric physiology now suggests that moderate resistance training, often using body weight or resistance bands, can be just as effective for maintaining bone health as heavy lifting, and far less risky. It's because bone density does respond to stress, but the incremental stress from moderate resistance is usually enough to trigger healthy bone remodeling processes in seniors. Think of it like slowly watering a plant. If you dump a bucket of water on it all at once, you might flood and damage the roots. But if you give it the right amount of moisture consistently, it flourishes over time. A powerful slogan to remember is gradual stress strengthens, excess stress weakens. Instead of focusing on how much weight you can manage in a single effort, shift your mindset toward consistent, moderate challenges. Even activities as simple as chair squats or carefully climbing a set of stairs can do wonders for your bones, provided you do them regularly. Light hand weights combined with good form and higher repetition can keep your bones stimulated to stay strong, all while lowering your risk of acute injuries. The emotional benefit? Freedom from the fear of fractures that haunt many older adults. You'll feel the steady confidence that your bones are still robust, minus the worry that you're one wrong move away from a painful setback. If you're still watching and finding this second insight helpful, please type 2 in the comments to let me know you're with me. And if you haven't done so yet, remember to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future videos like this that focus on empowering seniors. Moving forward, the third crucial point is that your body's muscle recruitment changes with age, requiring a more focused approach than just brute strength. A lot of seniors assume that if they can lift a heavy object, no matter how awkwardly, they must be doing it correctly. But let's look at Robert, age 74, who decided to help his grandson move into a new apartment. He lifted a dresser with all the strength he could muster, but his form was off. Instead of engaging his core and leg muscles, he put most of the strain on his lower back. The dresser was lifted, mission accomplished. But a day later, Robert's back went into spasm. In younger adults, muscle groups often coordinate naturally. By the time you're in your 70s, though, certain muscles may no longer fire the way they used to, and other areas overcompensate, leading to imbalances and potential injuries. The surprising truth is that it's not just about how much weight you can hoist, it's about how effectively you use the muscles you have. A thorough warm-up involving gentle dynamic stretches can help reactivate muscle fibers that have become sleepy. Think of it as switching on the right lights in your house before you walk through it, instead of stumbling around in the dark. Regular practice of functional exercises, like a controlled squat or a careful deadlift with minimal weight, helps train your body to move in harmony. You're teaching your muscles to work together to support each lift rather than letting the load fall onto a single joint or an unprepared muscle group. One immediate tip is to use what physical therapists call mind-to-muscle connection. Before lifting anything, visualize the muscles in your core and legs engaging together. It could be as simple as bracing your stomach gently and bending your knees before picking up your laundry basket. This technique ensures that the right muscles activate, reducing your risk of overburdening a single weak spot. When you adopt this approach, the emotional payoff is a deeper sense of control and reduced anxiety. Lifting becomes something you approach with calm awareness instead of tension and fear. You begin to trust your body again, knowing you've prepared each muscle group for the task at hand. And that trust translates into greater confidence in everyday activities, from opening a stubborn jar to carrying groceries inside without dread. A beautiful example is Margaret, 76, who once feared lifting anything heavier than a milk carton due to chronic shoulder pain. She started a gentle daily routine of 10-minute movement drills, focusing on activating her shoulder stabilizers and core. Over time, her posture improved, and she found that even lifting a small box of groceries felt easier. More importantly, her fear lessened. She was no longer bracing for pain, but moving with intent and stability. This sense of empowerment is something you can experience too, by shifting away from sheer weightlifting towards smarter muscle coordination. We're moving into the fourth key insight, which centers on an often overlooked factor. Your body's recovery capacity is significantly reduced after 70, making high-intensity lifting especially risky. Remember that work hard, rest harder mantra that athletes sometimes use. By the time you're a senior, that principle becomes absolutely vital. But many older adults skip the rest portion, or they confuse rest with inactivity. They either go all out at the gym or remain sedentary, believing these extremes are the only options. Consider Linda, who is 79. Eager to maintain her vitality, she started a strength training routine that included heavy dumbbells, feeling proud every time she added more weight. Yet she hardly gave herself a day off, pushing her body day after day. Eventually, she began to notice constant fatigue and sleep disturbances, followed by an alarming drop in her energy level. Worried, she visited a specialist who explained that her muscles and connective tissues simply weren't getting adequate time to repair. The heavy loads were causing tiny tears in her muscles, and without proper rest and lighter workouts in between, those micro-injuries accumulated. Her body was essentially stuck in a cycle of breakdown without the buildup. Here's the surprise. Active rest, light movement, stretching, and gentle cardio can be more beneficial than total inactivity on your off days. It might feel like you're barely doing anything, but for an older body, those low-impact activities create better circulation and help flush out the metabolic byproducts of exercise. It's like letting a wound breathe instead of covering it with a tight bandage. You give it just enough exposure to air and gentle care to promote faster healing. If you've never tried it, start with slow walks, gentle yoga, or leisurely swimming. These forms of active recovery help your muscles reset while keeping your joints lubricated. The emotional benefit here is crucial. You'll break free from the guilt you might feel if you're not constantly pushing harder. Instead, you'll know you're actually doing the wiser thing by cycling through activity and recovery. You're prolonging your ability to stay strong and independent without the sudden burnout or injuries that come from doing too much, too often. If you're still with me at this point and find this helpful, type 4 in the comments to let me know you understand the importance of balanced recovery. And again, if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so because your support allows me to keep sharing insights that can help protect your well-being. Finally, let's explore the fifth insight, which is a game changer for many seniors. Replacing heavy lifting with a specialized functional routine that targets stability and flexibility alongside strength. This routine involves everyday movements that mimic real-life tasks, like standing up from a chair, reaching overhead, or squatting down to pick something up. Rather than loading your body with a barbell, you focus on refined techniques, controlled tempos, and integrated muscle activation. The result is a full-body workout that fortifies you for the demands of daily life. One particularly effective method is to combine slow, deliberate squats with gentle upper body work using resistance bands. Resistance bands are easier on the joints than free weights, yet they still provide enough tension to build strength in a safer, more controlled manner. You can also incorporate balance exercises, such as standing on one foot for 10 seconds at a time, or practicing heel-to-toe walking. These moves may sound simple, but they engage critical stabilizing muscles that heavy lifting often overlooks. David, at 80, serves as an inspiring example. He was once a strong advocate for lifting heavier weights, refusing to believe that gentler exercises could be effective. But after experiencing a sharp shoulder injury, he had no choice but to revise his routine. He started using resistance bands for shoulder presses, focusing on slow, controlled movements. To his surprise, not only did his shoulders regain strength, but his posture improved and his chronic back discomfort lessened. He credits the integrated nature of functional movements for his newfound ease in everyday tasks, like reaching for a cereal box on the top shelf or putting away dishes without that nagging pinch. The emotional benefit here is the transition from fear to confidence. Instead of dreading tasks that might strain your shoulders or your back, you begin to see them as manageable challenges. You carry yourself differently, standing taller and moving more fluidly through your day. And best of all, you're far less likely to suffer a sudden, debilitating injury that could sideline you or rob you of your independence. This sense of renewed self-reliance and dignity is the ultimate payoff. Imagine implementing these 5 insights and experiencing a life where you can still take part in activities you love, like playing with grandchildren, gardening, or even traveling, without the nagging worry that one wrong lift might put you out of commission. The key is urgency. The longer you wait to adapt your approach, the greater the odds of those silent injuries taking hold. Change doesn't have to be radical. Start small. Replace one heavy lift with a safer alternative. Incorporate one 5-minute active recovery session into your week. Slowly, you'll notice the difference. You'll feel more resilient, less afraid of daily tasks, and more in control of your health journey. Take a moment to picture yourself 6 months from now, having embraced these methods. You stand up from your chair with ease, you lift light boxes with confidence, and you enjoy the warmth of your grandchildren's hugs without that pang in your lower back. The transformation can be yours if you commit to these safer, more mindful habits starting today. Which of the 5 insights resonated with you the most? Was it the idea of scaling down the weight to avoid hidden injuries? Or perhaps the notion of focusing on muscle coordination over brute force? Reflect on how you'll adapt your routine accordingly. Even jot down a plan or share your thoughts in the comments. That simple act of commitment can make all the difference. I'd love to hear from you, so please leave a comment below and let me know one thing you learned today, plus how you plan to apply it. Your participation not only helps me create better content, it also helps build a community of seniors supporting one another's well-being. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need these insights. With your support, we can continue to explore topics that protect your health and empower you to live your best life at any age. Here's a final thought. Your body may be older, but it's still capable of remarkable adaptation. Age brings wisdom, and part of that wisdom is knowing how to protect and nurture yourself. You don't have to live in fear of the next slip or the next heavy lift. You have the power to choose safer, smarter strategies that support a long, active life. Embrace this mindset, and you'll find yourself standing taller, moving more freely, and greeting each new day with optimism rather than dread. You've made it this far, and there's so much more life to experience. Now it's time to move forward with a renewed sense of strength that's built on understanding, not on risking your well-being. Stay committed, stay mindful, and let these insights guide you to a future where your golden years truly shine.